Ah, yes. Put my gloves on. There we go. We're ready. Minute 17 left before this ride starts. Mellow Monday. Hey, how's it going? Major Taylor, Chicago. How's everybody feeling tonight? About to get this ride in with the rest of my crew. Let's see who showed up today's ride. We got 11 people so far. Couple familiar names on here. Couple. New Jersey's in the house. Very cool. Very cool. Love riding with new folks. So tonight we're doing a 60-minute ride. We're doing Classique. Personally, I picked this one because this is another, this is a really short course. I think it's only a few miles long. And I'm gonna get that badge, get the XP for that badge, and not look back. Because that's what I'm gonna do. See Ed Dixon here. Very cool. So shout out to Patrice, Femi from New Jersey, Celeste, Ed, OG, John, Anastasia, Irvin, Chuck, Lisa Adams, and Raphael. What's up? What's going on? Pedal a little bit. Not so many people this time. The world has thinned out a little. All right. So I'm going to start picking new worlds, off-worlds, so that there are less people, it's less people-y, less mass starts. Here we go. We have some ride-ons. So give ride-ons early and often. There we go. Apparently ride-ons have an effect on how you gain drops. The more ride-ons you have, the more drops, or the rate you earn drops faster with getting ride-ons. As a ride leader, there's a little circle around my dude. Let's see if I can zoom in here. You see a white circle around my guy. If I click on that, I'll give 5 ride-ons to the 5 closest people to me who I've not given ride-ons to before. Kind of a perk. Being a ride leader, getting warm. Celeste, Lisa, Patrice, John, Raphael, look at this. Just out here pedaling. Just cruising. So the club's been doing great on Zwift. There are no outside rides, no outside group rides at this time. You're all adults, feel free to ride as you will. But for those who wish to stick inside, still be a bit social, we're doing Zwift rides daily, morning, afternoon, evening. Listen, if you got a ride that you'd like to do, just let us know. Go in. If you have a ride that you'd like to put together for our club, go into events in the Zwift Companion app and click on Create Meetup. Pick what you want to do. But go down here, and this is why we tell everybody to put MTC3 in your name. So if you type in MTC3, look at all these people. Just invite all them. Where am I at? Oh. Well, guess I can't invite myself to my own ride. How silly. So, you can put that ride together. I'll see it. And if I'm available, I'll definitely come out. I ride as much as I can. So if you want to put together a ride, feel free. Invite everybody with MTC after their name, MTC3. You'll see that most of the people in the green there on the right hand side in the Zwift window Go back to the game, get a picture. We're all grouped together. It's a good pick. Some ride-ons. All right, we're good for ride-ons. Gave everybody in the group to ride on. So we got rides every morning, pretty much. I can remember. Every evening, except Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But hey, if you want to ride, let us know. I'd put together a Saturday or Sunday evening ride, especially with this, the way things are. I rode last night with a group. Be happy to do one for Major Taylor. If you have any questions, you can post them underneath in the comments for this live video. Comments, questions, issues. You got sensor problems with Zwift. You got, you don't know how to get it installed. What does it run on? Just putting in a little bit of work, burning some calories. For me, after this, I'm gonna go have some dinner. I need dinner. Probably leftovers. Probably enchiladas. My wife made chicken enchiladas. Hey Melissa, are the maps of any particular area? This one is Classique, and I'm trying to remember where Classique is. I think this is London. I think we're in London. Which, from what I've heard from the people who live in, around Central Park in New York, that New York map of Central Park is pretty accurate from what I've heard, which is kind of cool. I've also heard from some of those folks that if you want to ride in Central Park like that, you got to do it when the sun first pops up. Otherwise, too many people, too much stuff going on. As far as I know, Melissa, Tour de France is not part of this program. There are other races that are actually in here. The courses are in here. The climb, the Alpe du Zwift is actually the Alpe d'Huez, I believe. And again, from what I've heard, it's pretty accurate. Now, just because you can do it in the game doesn't mean you can do it in real life. I'm pretty sure there's no way I could actually do that climb without coughing up a lung. Whew. Yeah, on the ride last night, we did Sands and Sequoias, I think it is, in Watopia. Watopia is a completely mythical island. It's completely made up. I thought I read that it does, the landmass, something does exist there, but it's nothing like what we see in the game. Now, I have no idea why my guy just took off doing 20 plus miles an hour, and I'm on the front of the group. No idea. Oh, it's because Lisa Adams was ahead of me, maybe. Was trying to rubber band me up. I don't know. But there's lots of little Easter eggs. So on last night's ride, Sandy Sequoias, there was a bear climbing a tree. The bear's name is Jarvis. And he fell out of a tree. That was crazy. You see silly stuff in the game. There's dinosaurs. There's shit flying everywhere. So, if you're interested in riding, if you look at your screen, you'll see the names of our ride leaders for Zwift. There is one person missing. I gotta update this slide. Irvin, man, if you got any issues at all, any questions, any issues, you reach out to him. Tume, well, Irvin does a Wednesday night ride. Tume does Wednesday morning ride. Crystal usually does like a Tuesday, Friday morning ride. Barb does Saturday and Sunday mornings. Big fan of those rides. Those are ones I can make. The early morning rides, not so much. Sean leads a Thursday morning ride. I think Glenn does a Thursday morning ride. Brenda is doing multiple rides during the mornings. I think she starts hers at 6 or 6:30 maybe. And I lead a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday ride. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday start at 6:30 p.m. Monday is named Mellow Monday. Usually it's pretty chill, which is what we got here. There shouldn't be a lot of climbing. If there's a badge, it should be relatively short. A short distance, relatively easy badge to get. Tuesday, call it Turn Up Tuesday. And it's just a little bit extra. Usually a little more climbing, slightly more difficulty, slightly. Thursday is I'm usually doing a little bit of climbing. I mean, the hard part about this whole game is the climbing, I suppose. So there'll be a longer route. That ride, I'll typically make a route, and it may be anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes worth of riding. Try to get people those route badges just to see different places. And with the latest update that they made in the last week, we can pretty much go to any world. I haven't had a chance to check this yet. You go into events, create an event, create meetup. Where do you want to go? Watopia, Innsbruck, London, New York, Richmond, and Yorkshire. That's kind of cool. Because they have a rotation. They used to have a rotation of days in which you could go to these courses. And there we go, route unlocked. Used to have a rotation. Now you can just hit them up whenever you want. And on top of that, let's just say you wanted to ride in the world kind of by yourself with nobody else around for whatever reason. You can make a meetup. Obviously, you're in it. Pick a world and go do it. There won't be anybody else around. If you pick a rare one, it should be relatively empty. A lot of people still do Watopia just because it's kind of cool. But that's it. So big shout out to all our ride leaders. Again, Irvin, Tume, Crystal, Barb, Sean, Glenn, Brenda, myself, for sticking with it this entire year. Celeste says that was a quick route. Yep, for Monday, we definitely want a quick route. So, there's a whole story behind Jarvis, and I guess I got to figure it out because the club, this beta club I got invited to, is actually called Club Jarvis. It's a little bear icon. Jarvis is the name of a bear. He's out there on a course. He climbs up a tree that has his name on it, and then he falls down the tree. It's kind of silly. So my wife, Melissa, my wife does not ride necessarily. We are trying to get a trainer for her. Gyms are closed. Most things are closed. So her bike, a mat, and some other stuff is sitting right to my side over here. I don't know. It's over there. So when her trainer comes in, or we get the opportunity to acquire one, we'll grab it, and then she'll ride. But she doesn't normally ride in a group when I typically ride. Riding is not necessarily her thing. It's mine. It's my thing. The girls getting involved. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but Major Taylor Chicago is approximately 40% female members, 60% guys. As far as I understand, it's kind of an unprecedented number in a co-ed bike club. Most bike clubs have a lot of testosterone and macho. Not saying that we don't have any. We have some. But most people want to be social and they want to get a little bit of fitness. That's the primary driver behind our rides, and it's what motivates people to come out and hang with us. So there's a lot of females out riding with us, a lot. And just like the guys, there's probably equal parts. Some of these ladies can really hammer, have your tongue hanging out trying to keep up. Don't let them fool you. They'll tell you they're not fast. Then you'll ride with them. You're breathing hard and they're just having a conversation. So Brenda, where you at? How come you're not riding? See you on Facebook. Jump on the bike. Join us. Where's Anastasia at? Is she ahead of us or behind us? She said, let's go, let's go. All right. Whew. So again, if you got any questions, comments, sarcasms, jokes, you can post them up in the comments. Again, the whole for even doing this is just to get people moving. Swim, bike, well, not too many people are going to be swimming anytime soon. Plenty of people biking and running. Yoga, stretching, whatever. Just move. Whatever that thing is. Cycling happens to be one of my things. What else we got? The ever-present Lori Lightfoot, keeping an eye over the Chicago group. People posting pictures out there. Apparently they've printed out Lori Lightfoot and put her in windows and put her all over Chicago and stuff. That's pretty funny. It effectively spreads the message. It's funny too. %, climb. Just a little bit. There's a guy on a mountain bike. You see Celeste right behind me. Whew. So I live stream these a few days a week. Try to get people to understand how we're riding, where we're riding, what we're riding. We got people showing up. Back in the day, I started my Zwift account March 6, 2015. Yeah, I believe 2015. just when it was beta, before it was a thing. Today it's blowing up for obvious reasons, but way back in the day, been putting in work on Zwift for 5 years. It's a great tool. So, started live streaming about a month or so ago, just to get the word out, just to show people what we're doing, give them a taste of what Zwift is. Zwift is a video game. I say this all the time. It's got levels, achievements, experience points, badges, all the elements of a video game. Your bike and your trainer is the controller, it's the sticks, and you control it. Just want people to see that there's an alternative, get that exposure out there. Come ride with us. So I've been leading these rides for years now, and I gotta say, some of the biggest rides we've had are maybe 5 or 6 people show up over the last few years. Might get a couple more than that, but that was about it. Now, smallest rides are, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 people. Biggest rides are pushing 20. Pushing 20 at a time when you could only invite 50 people. You know, last week they raised that cap to 100. Drink. Whew. Now tonight we got 11, including me. 10 following and me. It's very cool. And a person from New Jersey, Major Taylor, New Jersey. Now I've ridden a few of their rides. Give you a heads up. When you ride their ride, they want you to put on, I think it's basic kit 2, it's the green one. They have a green kit for Zwift. But the New Jersey crew is putting in insane miles on Zwift. But there's a bunch of Major Taylor clubs. If you go back to that whole invite list or look up Zwifters, just type in MTC. That's pretty much what everybody's name starts with. Major Taylor Cycling. You'll find Iron Riders, New Jersey, LA, Louisiana, Houston. Oh man, Dayton. Bunch of people in Dayton. Bunch of folks. Start riding with other folks, getting on their Discord and having some fun. Yeah, the mayor printouts, Melissa, is pretty hilarious. So, my setup is a bit more complicated because I'm streaming, so there's some extra equipment involved. But in its simplest form, I ran Zwift on an Apple 4K device, Apple TV 4K. The device was like $200. Might be the easiest way to get on Zwift without using your phone. Otherwise, I've used my phone, I've used Apple phones, I've used lots of Android phones. I've used everything but an Apple laptop. Currently, I have a PC, a laptop, Windows 10 in front of me, and I have 2 additional screens, so 3 screens total. So today a PC is driving everything. Stand for a second. So my current setup's a little more complicated than it was a month ago, but there's a mic in the picture now. You can barely see it. A green screen behind me. My wife comes down here and takes pictures, sends them to people to show them how silly her husband is. For the simple fact that most non-cyclists would find this weird. It's like a bit overkill, and it would be. So what else have I used Zwift on? So I have a Wahoo Kickr. It's a direct drive trainer, which means you take your back wheel off your bike, and the trainer actually has a cassette on it, and you mount it directly to it. And my bike is just an older bike that I built that's now dedicated to just indoors. Like I said, I use an Apple TV or a phone to run Zwift, and then I have another mobile device, another phone, to run the Zwift companion app. I've not tried it, but I can't imagine that you could run the Zwift game and the companion app on the same phone at the same time. I'm pretty sure that would fail somehow. I'm almost pushing 200 watts. You don't know I'm working so hard. You don't need to. So there's a lot of ways to set this up, and that's part of the complexity of Zwift. Is that it does run on many different devices. I use exclusively Bluetooth for everything. So a Bluetooth heart rate strap, Bluetooth connecting to my Wahoo Kickr, my smart trainer. And I've not had any problems, no issues that were connected to Bluetooth. Could tell you about a story about how my Bluetooth sensors were dropping out. Long story short, my network connection was super slow, namely the upload. I only had like 1.5 to 2 megabit per second upload. I upgraded. I got like 35 up now. So big difference. So I have a lot of friends, Melissa, who have hip or knee injuries and or replacements. Many of them are very powerful, fast riders. Zero issue cycling. Most of them, a lot of them actually, used to run, and running is no longer an option for them after their surgeries. So coming out to ride with us would be a great thing. Getting on a trainer would be amazing. Finding a trainer is going to be very difficult, because right now everyone and their mother is trying to ride indoors. If you find a trainer, buy it. Don't wait. It'll be gone. Wahoo and Saris are supposed to get somewhere out there mid to end of May. So you're going to be waiting a while. And I'm sorry you couldn't join us. I don't know what happened. That's unfortunate. But just like any technology, there's been plenty of meetups I've missed. Running the house. I got 20 minutes to get ready and dressed. Hop on the bike, start pedaling. Nothing's reading. Trainer could have been unplugged. That's happened. I've done that. So what else? Just being too late to the ride. you got to be at least 5 minutes logged in. Otherwise, you may not get the invite. I've logged in at 2 minutes till, never got the invite. And I was the ride leader. That's happened. What else has happened? Dead battery in my heart rate monitor. So no heart rate. Dead battery in my cadence sensor. No cadence. So, Mike, you were already invited to the ride. You're invited to all 3 rides of mine. You're already in it. So, Melissa, what bike would you suggest as an indoor trainer bike? And then have another road bike? Well, you can. You can have an indoor, you can have an exclusive bike just for your trainer. But you could also have an outdoor bike. That's all possible. So I'll tell you what I do. I have my own. All right, so real quick, I built a bike. I bought a frame for about $100. It's an aluminum gravel bike frame, and I bought a fork. Might have been a little over $200 for it all. Threw on some wheels and the rest of the components. Rode it outside for like a couple of months. But that was like bike number 3 or 4 for me. I had a few other bikes. Didn't do a lot of gravel riding. There's no gravel around here. So this bike was odd. Fast forward, I have more bikes. I have more bikes than I can ride at any given time. And so this one, and I like this one because it's all black and it's unbranded. Not a big fan of showing a lot of big flashy brands. But I did it because this was a very inexpensive build. The whole bike might have been minus the pedals. The whole bike might have been $600 to build, maybe. I found a lot of good deals. I bought a used group set. I bought, the wheels were from Nash Bar, they're no longer available. The frame and the fork were from Nash Bar, they're not available either. So, it's just old stuff. So the biggest convenience for me is, I walk in the house, my shoes, my gloves, my bike, everything's already set up. I sit down and I ride. I don't have to get my bike, take the wheel off, mount it to my trainer, adjust it, have something go wrong. It's a pure luxury, in all honesty, to be able to have to have a bike dedicated to this. I know Celeste just got a bike, and she relegated it. She bought it with the intention of it just being full-time trainer bike. If you get a decent deal on a used bike for a few $100, put it on the trainer. The money you're going to spend after that is likely on a good saddle and a pair of pedals. Because you got to be comfortable. What bike would you suggest as an indoor trainer bike? Anything cheap, but there's one gotcha. If you choose a direct drive bike, well, let's take a step back. Start with the easiest option. The easiest option is to get a wheel-on trainer. Your bike, if you don't know it, has a rear cassette, which could be a speed anywhere from, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 even. You got to deal with some cassette issues if you want to use a direct drive. So, if you use a wheel-on trainer like a Kickr Snap or a Ceres fluid trainer, a mag trainer, there's a whole bunch of them. Any non-smart trainer, that's not true. Just a wheel-on trainer would be a better option if you don't want to go monkeying around with cassettes. Otherwise, if you get a direct drive trainer, you got to figure out the whole cassette thing. You got to make a decision. If you want to upgrade the bike, the rear derailleur to 10 or 11 speed cassette, or if you want to buy a new cassette for your trainer and bring it down to 9, 8, or 7, or whatever you have. So you could. I personally am a big fan of Wahoo. It works. I have it to ride Zwift. I don't use any other programs. I don't ride any other programs. I just use Zwift. And it seems as though whenever you see Zwift, you always see Wahoo. I'm a big fan of buying stuff that, or at least in my head, I feel like the people at Zwift, do a lot of heavy testing on Wahoo. And lots of people have them. It's the same reason I have a Ford F-150 truck. Everyone's got one. Everyone can fix them. There's lots of parts. Not a big deal. If you go with some high-end or weird boutique stuff, good luck getting it fixed. I don't have to tell you. This trainer, when I bought it new, had a known defect. It started making a horrible noise called Wahoo. They knew about it. Wahoo sent me a new trainer. Brand new trainer in a box. Mailed it right to me before I even had a chance to send them my trainer. Then I mailed them back mine. Done. They made it right. That in and of itself kind of makes me a customer for life. That customer service means everything to me. But Sarah's makes great stuff too. Tax makes great stuff. There's a lot of good trainers out there. In all honesty, the best trainer is a trainer you'll ride. The best bike is the bike you'll ride. Bringing up what brand or what bike to get is almost like talking about religion or politics. Don't get people going on Specialized versus Cannondale. And then Trek shows up. Everybody's got their preference. Everybody's got trash to talk. The truth is, all the good brands, all the top brands, they all make good quality stuff. Trek, Specialized, Cannondale, Fuji, just all of them. They all make really great bikes. There's some small pieces that are different. There's some large pieces that are different too, but you got to be really an enthusiast to get into it. For me, great customer service is everything, just like Night Rider headlights. I won't buy any other headlight but a Night Rider. Had a couple issues, all my fault, but the latest one, my light fell off my bike, cracked the mount where the sliding piece where it actually mounts back to my bike. It broke. Completely my fault. I called Night Rider. Actually, I texted them, messaged them through their website. They sent me a brand new housing and a bike mount for the light. 4 little bolts. I took it apart, put the guts inside the new housing. It's like having a brand new light. Again, they took care of me. I was going to pay for it. They took care of me. I don't like Night Rider's taillights too much though. For some reason, I'm drawn to Bond Trigger for taillights. There's a certain one, super visible. I forget the name of it. It's like a Flare 3 or something. It's not rechargeable. I don't want rechargeable for a taillight because I want to be able to carry extra batteries. It's too important. Headlight rechargeable. Tail light. When I'm commuting, I'll roll with 3 tail lights. One goes directly underneath my saddle on the seat post. The other 2, it's not the chainstay. What's the name of it? It's the part that connects. That's the other vertical 2 bars behind you on either side of the wheel and back of the bike. I'm drawing a complete bright blank. I put 2 small red lights on those, blinkies, and that's it. You gotta have rear lights, have more than 1. 2 is good, 3 is better. I can ride in the dark without a headlight, I've done it. But riding without a tail light will get you killed. Whew. Again, if you got rides you want to ride, let us know or make a ride and invite us. Ride anytime. I'll ride doubles. If somebody had a ride after this at 8 o'clock to 9, I'd probably ride it too. So I've gotten a couple questions before about power-ups. Large and small gives you some experience. You get power-ups when you go through different archways in the game. I haven't gone through one yet tonight. Lightweight draft, arrow. Those you get on regular meetups and riding by yourself. The last 2, breakaway and invisibility, I believe, are just for races. So if you do a crit or a race of some sort in Zwift, you get the last 2. Every now and then someone's like, what does this mean? What's the draft? What's the arrow? I have a green icon. What does that mean? Here's my notes. Any extra ride-ons here? There's a couple. Again, if you got questions, post them up. Anything at all. I do this ride again tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. And then I do this ride again at Thursday, 6 p.m. If you hop over to Major Taylor Chicago, majortaylorchicago.com/Zwift, you'll get everything about how, what, where, and where our club uses Zwift for rides. There must be 10 or 12 rides a week. I think at most we had 14-ish rides a week. It's a lot. I know we've ridden thousands of miles this year worth of rides. We have to be well over 150 rides for the year in on Zwift. So we've been riding. We got 18 minutes left to this ride. It's raining in the game. Whew. Stacy, where you at? I knew you were in here. I saw you. Did you duck out already? I know that life gets in the way. You know, it's kind of funny. People are always like, Jason, how are you dealing with all this? Oh, how you dealing with having to stay home and not go anywhere? It's like, that's my jam. I'm a homebody. I'm actually a country boy. I was at my mom's this weekend. All I could think about was slinging up a hammock between 2 trees and hanging out, and then later make a fire. That's my idea of a good afternoon or good evening. I go to work in the morning, Monday through Friday. I'm still going into work. My place of business makes financial documents for institutions like banks and credit unions. So we support them. We have approximately 90 employees, of which 36 are still in the office. The balance are all working from home. Minimum people in the business is as few as possible. What gear am I in right now? Well, that's a complicated question. It's complicated because my front chain rings are 46-36. I'm in the bigger one. I'm in the 46. My rear is 11 to 28. I'm in the third smallest gear, I guess. I can't really tell. I have a relatively low cadence, and so I'm doing a little more mashing, a little more, because I'm doing over 200 watts. It's comfortable for me. If we were trying to ride hard, you'd see my cadence, which is the RPM number in black in the blue box, up left-hand corner. My cadence is currently 81. Heart rate is 133. Heart rate for me of 133 is a recovery heart rate. 80 RPM, it's pretty low, it's chill. 200 watts is a little bit, but if we were actually hammering, my RPMs, my cadence would be over 90, maybe even over 100. Heart rate would be about 160. Power, I don't know, like 250. The rubber band effect, honestly, is giving me some benefit here. Because at this power, cadence, and gearing, I probably would not be doing 14 miles an hour, maybe. Whew. So, being on a smart trainer, Melissa, you may hear some clicking in the background. Like that. That's me changing gears. When I go up a hill, it gets harder to pedal. I gotta change gears. I go down an incline, it gets easier. I'll switch gears. I'm constantly changing gears on this bike, just like outside. Whew. I realize there's some ride-ons here. Just a couple people around me. There we go. Just hitting a little white circle around my guy. All right, here we go. Take a couple pictures real quick. A couple camera angles. That one. John's on a pink truck. That looks like a pink truck Madone. He's got a red truck, Madone or Damani in real life. All right, those angles suck. Let's try this. There we go. That one. Here we go. This one, it's a good one. That one. So if you press 0, you'll enter something called drone mode. I'm just using the arrow keys to kind of move around. It'll make you sick if you mess with it too much. You do not have this on the phone or Apple TV though. Or maybe you do, if you have a keyboard. 12 minutes left. So definitely changing gears the whole time. If you do not have a smart trainer, changing gears will make it easier or harder for you to pedal. Usually, sometimes there's a manual resistance control on the trainer, so you can make it harder that way. You know, that really is the beauty about these rides. This ride's scheduled to be for an hour. We got the badge like in the first 10 minutes. Super short route. And then, let's say you only got 30 minutes to ride. You hop out, go do what you gotta do. Take care of your life. Or if you got a whole hour, ride the whole thing. If you got 2 hours, just keep riding. You won't be in this group anymore. The group will be disbanded after 60 minutes, but you can keep riding. If you wanted to, you could join 2 groups back to back. Say you got one at 6:30 for an hour, and then one that starts at 7:30. You can sign up to RSVP for both of those. I've tried this, I've done it. 6% climb. Got to shift down. About 5 minutes before that second ride starts, you'll get an invite to go to that ride. That's it. There's a couple little weird things you might want to know. For one, all the pictures you took on the first ride will be available on the second ride. Stats. The first ride stats. That ride will be completed as soon as you say, let's join the second ride. And the first ride will have no pictures uploaded to it. On my phone in the Zwift companion app, bottom right hand corner is a little camera. You touch that button to take a picture. The button to the left of it is to change the view. 8.5 minutes left. Send some messages here. That's it. There's just a few minutes left. Kind of wind it down a little bit. Starting to think about what I'm going to drink with my dinner. Brought some New Jersey speed, yeah. So that's it. So, do I stretch afterwards? Ice? No ice. Put ice in my water, ice in my drink. No ice in my martini, no ice in my scotch. The only thing I put in my scotch is more scotch. I do stretch. I have a yoga mat immediately beside me. Once I'm done pedaling, I'll upload my ride. I'll stretch for like 3 to 5 minutes, real quick. It's a real quick stretch. I find that if I don't stretch, after a few days, maybe a week of putting load on my legs, things get really tight. Real tight. If I stretch for just a few minutes afterwards, mainly it's quads, hamstrings, glutes, and calves. I guess it's everything. I mean, what else are you gonna stretch, right? The yoga mat, I'll stretch and I'll hang out. Tume, what's up? We miss you on this ride. Miss that big, beautiful smile and that cheery voice. All that energy. So definitely got to stretch. Just a little bit goes a long way for me. I'm not trying to do the splits or anything. It's just a real easy light stretch. Like I said, it really builds up after a week or so. All right, yeah, get that rest in today too, man. You need a rest day for sure. Can't ride every day, or can you? You can, you really can. But I know Tume likes to train. There's a difference. She trains, I ride bikes. I don't train anymore. I used to do triathlons, duathlons, some crits here and there since 2013. I got lots of little participation and completion trophies and medals and shirts. I'm done with the competitive part. I really just enjoy riding, the spirit of it. Some of my best times on the bike are just with a whole group of us riding, all kitted up. People honking their horns, pulling over, taking pictures, trying to figure out what's going on. They ain't never seen nothing like that before. Yeah, I know. That training plan to me. She's disciplined that way. I'm not. Again, she trains, I ride bikes. It's different. Training plans. I remember back in the day I would set my watch every 5 minutes so I could drink. That's right. I'd set my watch to remind me to drink. I considered myself a triathlete. Scariest swim I ever had was in Lake Michigan, Chicago Tri. Lake Michigan is no joke. I can swim, but it's scary. That's a lot of water. The last time I did it, I lost a contact in the water because my goggles fill up with water because life. Lost a contact, but smart Jason had an extra pair of contacts in the transition area. Took off my stupid wetsuit because the water was freezing. Popped that contact in, jumped on the bike, and nearly crashed. Way too excited. I was running through transition like I was gonna win. So silly. That was fun. Thing coming in off the bike. I'm pretty sure I jumped off my bike and slid in on my cleats. No, I took my shoes off No, I took my feet out of my shoes and left them connected to the bike because that was the pro thing to do. And almost wiped out trying to give my bike, jump off it and give my bike to the guy who was going to put on the rack. It was crazy. I miss it and I don't miss it. You guys are too fast for me. Irvin's putting in chat, you guys are too fast for me. Sorry, Chuck Irvin. You guys are too fast for me. You're funny. That's jokes. So we got 40 seconds left to this ride. I'll hop off the bike. I like to remind you, when you're riding on Zwift, every whole mile you get 30 XP points. That's experience. So what you don't want to do is stop at 18.9. You're kind of leaving 30 points on the table. As soon as I hit that 19, you'll see 30 points pop up to the right of the white box in the middle. There it is. And I hit an hour. That's it. Screenshot. And I'm done. It's time for dinner. That's it. That's all. That's all she wrote. Melissa, you're gonna do your first try next year? Nice. Which one? Local? You're gonna travel to it? And what's your distance? Sprint? International? If it's your first, it's probably gonna be a sprint. Melissa, if you haven't done it, think about doing an indoor one. If you're targeting next year, do an indoor triathlon because they are fun. I've done many of those. I've actually won my age group several years in an indoor tri because I'm a big dude. Your weight doesn't count against you in an indoor tri. So it's nothing but raw power for me. So let's choose what photos we're going to put in here. There's a couple of these. Couple of those. Wait a minute. Hey, I want this one too. So I'm up to 4. I got one more I can add. All right, so I got one more. I think I want, that's a pretty good picture too. Oh, that's it. All right. So kind of the secret to doing this is this gold star right here in the upper left-hand corner of that particular picture. It means that's the main picture that'll show up in Strava and Zwift. So if you share this event on Facebook, that's the first one that'll show up. If you click on the little graph, the little green graph, it turns the HUD on and off. As far as I know, this is the only place that you can do that. You can't do it on your phone. So if you want to get a clean picture, this is how you do it. And we save it. Take these gloves off. Take the headphones off. Take the shoes off, then I'll stretch, and that's it. Naperville, I've done the Naperville Tri. The Naperville Tri is awesome. It's really well put together, really well supported. I did find that as a big guy, I had a little bit of problem with the, I'm hearing noises. As a big dude, I had a little bit of problem. Naperville is not flat as far as the run is concerned. The ride, it was flat. It was no big deal. In fact, I enjoyed that ride. My thing is the bike. So I was passing up dudes on $12,000 tri-bikes with disc wheels, and they were just all kitted up and doing their thing, and I blew their doors off going by them. A flat course, I got you. 5 marathons? I'll never do a marathon. It ain't happening. So good luck to you. That's absolutely amazing, Melissa. Hope to meet you at some point and hope to ride outside. But for now, I'm going to get going. We'll do this again Tuesday night and Thursday night. I'll try to stream it if I can. If I'm not too late, if I remember how to do it all and everything works, because that's how technology works. Other than that, that's it. Have a good one. Good night.